Hello, Hallmark Hot Takers, and welcome to another riveting episode of Hallmark Hot Takes, where we review all the movies from the Countdown to Christmas offering from the Hallmark Channel. This is episode
23.
23. We have 9 more movies. Well, after this, 8 more movies.
Yeah, this one counts.
Yes.
I just watched this one. It counts. There's 8 left.
Episode 23. Season 2 of Hallmark Hot Takes, and tonight we are reviewing...
But wait.
I forgot.
Rating system.
What do we do when we watch?
What if this is people's first time watching this channel? And they're like, what are these candy canes they're talking about?
Right. So we watch the movies, we take notes, and then we rate them.
On a candy cane scale of 0.5, even though some don't deserve that, to 5 candy canes, which when you combine them, when all powers combined, it's 1 out to 10.
Based on how much we liked or disliked this movie. So tonight we are reviewing 8 Gifts of Hanukkah, starring Inbar Levy and Jake Epstein. So if you are new, you'll know that you won't know now that I'm going to just jump into the rapid recap. So meet Sarah, a Seattle optometrist who has recently broken up with her boyfriend about 4 months ago. So she's moving back into the dating scene. Yeah. And Hanukkah has begun. And as she's celebrating with her family, she begins to receive gifts on her doorstep every night from a secret admirer. And the entire movie is, well, the first half of the movie is her trying to figure out who her secret admirer is. She has a plethora of potential suitors, including guys she's recently been on dates with, Nigel and Adam, and her ex, Paul, who has realized the error of his ways and wants to get back together. So Sarah's trying to figure out who this person is, and her best friend, Daniel, is not even in the running because apparently she doesn't think of him as a romantic interest. But you'll learn about halfway through the movie that Daniel actually is the secret admirer, and he has been pining for Sarah ever since he realized he was in love with her a couple years ago, but she had a boyfriend. And he continues to give her gifts, and he gets some advice from his friend, hey, you know, just win her over. And he finally kind of just explodes sort of when Sarah keeps brushing him off as a non-entity. And one day...
A non-suitor.
Yes, a non-suitor. And one day he says, do you really think any of those guys know you as well as the person giving them? Because the gifts were really personal. Yeah. And then she figures out it's him. And then they kind of get into a little fight. Like, why didn't you tell me this before? And then they go to this Hanukkah ball that they've been planning. And he shows up and he dances with her. And they confess their feelings and they kiss. And that is 8 Gifts of Hanukkah.
That is pretty great.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the reviews.
All right.
Okay, so we're at the ratings portion of the episode. So I am going to start with my dislikes.
Ooh.
I kind of wanted a holiday armadillo.
No holiday armadillo.
Okay, this is not meant to be a criticism of the actress's looks at all. She's a beautiful,
let's be very clear
girl,
on this.
Beautiful girl. And her eyebrows, though, were really distracting in this movie. They kept shooting up. And I just wanted to trim them the whole movie. I know that's petty, but
I can't believe
it's the hot take.
Your first part of your hot take was on someone's looks. This channel prides itself on the fact that we don't do that.
Oh, stop it. She's a beautiful girl. Just saying.
Unbelievable.
All right. I feel like, okay, so they celebrate all the nights of Hanukkah, but it seems like they keep eating the same meal over and over again. And I feel like there's got to be more Jewish food than brisket and latkes. I don't know a lot of Jewish foods because I'm not Jewish, but I don't know. Hated Adam. He was one of the potentials. He was a guy that he kept coming into the eye doctor place to
buy more glasses
because he lost them, and I hated him.
He's like, I'll buy all the glasses.
Yes. Will you please go on a date with me?
And they kept stalking her.
Yeah,
like he was
weird.
He's gonna be
so at one point, Daniel's friend says, you know, because she's dating a guy, she's dating 2 guys she gives eye exams to. So he's like, well, maybe you should go get an eye exam. So he does. And they have this eye exam moment. And they try to make it into this, like, she says, "Oh, this is really weird." Like, you're giving him an eye exam. What's weird about that?
That whole part was strange.
It was strange.
Because he's like, I'm not seeing things. Just like he's like alluding to her and everything. And then she gets all really super weird. But like even more weird than, I hated that whole scene.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene.
That was dumb.
He gets mad at her because she didn't think of him as a potential suitor. But in her mind, she never considered him because she always thought he just looked at her as like her brother's little sister. So I didn't really, I mean, I could see why he was frustrated, but for him to get mad, like he should have just told her the truth. And I thought that the ending was a bit anticlimactic. Like nothing really happened. It was just they kind of confronted each other and then they got into a little fight, but it was kind of anticlimactic in the end.
How many love interests did this chick have in this movie?
A lot. She had Nigel, Adam, Paul, Daniel, and some dude named Tom that you didn't really see, but his name was thrown around.
So she's a Jezebel.
She's not.
It's just pretty, again, this is a lot of suitors that she's dating all kind of.
She was only dating 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. And then she went on like 1,000 dates to kick the movie off of these like internet like coffee meetups, and she's like this is the first time I'm doing this, but I'm like, no, it's not. It's like the 8th time you've been on this coffee date. It was weird. Like
there was one day she went on that she walked in and the guy was in a Santa suit and she just turned and walked away.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like what was her problem with Santa? Like it was the holidays, he's having fun.
Well, she's Jewish. She doesn't celebrate the Santa. So I don't know.
Well, I don't like that.
What are your other dislikes?
The gifts were incredibly personal. So as soon as like she got some of them, it was like it had to be him.
Well, it had to be someone who knew her well.
It wasn't going to be Nigel, like new guy,
right?
That just is
Nigel or Adam were out, right?
Right,
because they didn't know her.
And then
at first, when they were personal, like I thought they were going to be from her deceased grandma.
From the
like,
grave.
She like set this up
no,
prior.
From the grave. Gifts from the grave.
No, because there's been a movie like that before where the dead spouse.
That was 12 gifts at Christmas. This is 8 gifts of Hanukkah. Totally different. 4 less gifts. Okay? Yeah, I just thought that was, it was just weird. Yeah. Again, she's just playing the field too much for me. Too many guys. Oh my God. Too many guys in this
one. You're so ridiculous.
All right, what you like about this thing?
Okay, I like that we learned how to play spin the dreidel. Never learned how to play that before, and now if the movie represented it correctly, I'm pretty excited about that.
I actually did know how to do that. I played that in school.
Oh,
in grade school.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you know.
This was a like/dislike. So I liked that Daniel outed himself to his friend that he was the suit, or he was the guy. But at the same time, while I liked it because, you know, he was cute about it and he just, I don't know. But then I didn't like it because there was still some mystery as a viewer. Now all of that was stripped away. So there was really no reveal then at that point. So it kind of took away, like I said, the ending is anticlimactic. And they could have thrown a few more red herrings in there to make you think that it was somebody else. So I guess it was a like and a dislike because I kind of liked it, but then I didn't because I think it kind of made the ending a little flat.
How many more red herrings? Were you thinking more guys would come into this?
No, like, but I honestly thought a good red herring
8 different boyfriends
would be like the grandma. I thought was a good one at the beginning because the gifts were so personal. Once you got the first 2 gifts, there's no way it wasn't somebody who knew her really well. So I think they kind of missed the boat on that story a little bit. I was glad that when he was telling his friend how he fell in love with her, it wasn't, oh, I've loved her my whole life. It was, she's always been my friend's little sister. And then one day I looked up and she was this woman and I wanted to be with her. But then when he finally realized that she already had a boyfriend. So I'm glad he wasn't like pining away for her for like his whole life, because that would have been silly.
He didn't, but he talked a lot like she was the one, and like, I don't know, it seemed a little weird. Like they never even dated, You know, like some of the old other stories we've seen, where like they've dated before and then they get together and then it's like they kind of know it's gonna work. Like this guy's like, this is the one. Like no other option. He's all in. It's like, wow, man. She doesn't even think of you like that. You're already all in. When
she shows up at his house to confront him after she finds out that it's him, she comes over and she was it was kind of a bit of a confrontation. And she's like, how long have you felt this way? And they kind of fought a little bit. And then when she's leaving, she's like, I have to go to this ball. I'm the co-chairperson. Right. And as she walks out the door, she says, and I still don't have a date, by the way. And I really like that. I said, yeah, dummy, get up and ask her to the darn dance. And the way
she had all those dates. So
she didn't have it. Nobody asked her to. Oh my gosh, you're driving me crazy. No one asked her to the ball. She didn't have a date for the ball. And then I liked when Paul, the ex, was trying to get back together with her. Like she kept shutting him down, and then finally at the ball, she was just really blunt with him. He comes up and he's like, "So, I want to talk to you," and she's like, "I'm in love with someone else." And I thought that was great. And I liked at the end when they got together. I didn't see this coming, so this was a bit of a surprise. He has a ring box, and you're like, no way is he going to propose.
I was like, oh, please tell me he's not proposing.
And he opens it up, and it's a promise ring that her grandmother gave to him to give to her in hopes that those two would work out. And he gave her a promise ring, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Grandma gave it to him from?
The grave. I think it was before the grave.
Yeah, I like my story better. I did like the store that she works at was it I to see you?
No, it was just I see you.
I see you? I see you? Like I see you? I like that. That was great. There was a quote, life is like a box of chocolates, from Forrest Gump. So there's a Forrest Gump reference in this movie.
I do believe they said basket of chocolates.
Yeah, it was basket. That was wrong.
They screwed up the quote.
But they did talk about Forrest Gump.
So we like movie quotes.
We do like that. And I like the promise ring thing. I think that was good. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so hit me with it.
1.
Really? I need you to justify that a little bit. You just didn't. What didn't do it for you?
You know, I think that them trying to get cute and not telling who it was at the end with all the suspense and everything, doing it early, I think did it disjustice. I think it really. And then the end was like, okay, you just know they're going to get together because it's a Hallmark movie.
Well, and right? It's not that you don't know that, but it's like you wanted a little bit of like.
I want some more twists.
Yeah, we need a little
more cinnamon twists.
I agree with that.
So 1.
But I kind of liked the premise of the gifts. I liked learning a lot of stuff about Hanukkah, which was kind of cool. And I thought she was. I liked her. I liked both of the characters. I thought both actors they did the roles well. So I'm going to be a bit more charitable than you, and I'm going to give this a 3.
Wow, that is a huge difference.
It is a huge difference. So this is probably the farthest away we've been on a rating.
Yeah, so that's 4.
So 4 candy canes, which is not a great rating, but it was a middle of it was
less than middle of the road.
It was less than middle of the road. There was some missteps on this one in the story.
I wasn't really brought into it.
But all right, we'll see.
You want to do a preview?
I always want to do a preview.
Oh, that's good. Well,
I can't wait until we don't have a preview.
No. Bye.
Okay, so let's do preview time. So the next movie that we are going to review is called A Very Merry Bridesmaid, starring Emily Osment and Casey Dietrich. So Leah's 30th birthday is on Christmas Eve, the same day as her brother's wedding.
Ooh. And
her childhood crush is back in town for the wedding, and he is determined to make sure her birthday does not go by the wayside.
That sounds pretty special.
It sounds... interesting.
Big 30th birthday, brother's wedding.
I bet he secretly has had feelings for her.
Stop it.
This whole
a crush.
Time.
It's a childhood crush.
But her crush, she's liked him, but I bet he likes her. See, you need a movie where the guy is realized he's in love with them instead of the girl. Maybe this will be that movie.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know.
I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed for it. I hope it happens.
It's going to happen.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.